Hello YouTube, it's been a while since I've made a video and I want to apologize for that. Things have been extremely crazy. But recently I have been making a prayer cloth like this one. This one I made for myself, it's pink. And this one here I made for my husband, which is blue. Now we will not be making this pattern. I purchased this pattern from Etsy from Rose Red Designs. So I have made my own pattern with the ichthus, with the fish in the middle. So that's the one that I will be showing you guys today, but you can definitely purchase this. I believe it's, let's see, I think I have it pulled up on my phone here. If you can see that, it's on Etsy for Rose Red Designs, and it's $3.95, and that's the pattern right there. Okay, so to get started, we're going to need size 10 crochet thread. You're going to need a size 7 boy hook, which is a 1.65 millimeter, scissors, and a needle to wind in your ends, the tails. Okay, so to begin, you're going to make your slip knot. Actually, I want to leave myself a bigger tail than that, because with this tiny thread you need a long tail to help wind in the ends. Gives you a lot more room. Okay, and you're going to chain 52. Now this is definitely an advanced crochet project. You can definitely make these prayer cloths with a thicker yarn. Here I have, this is a size 3 crochet thread, I believe. I'll show you if I can show you the difference. You can see that this one here is much thicker than this one is. And this right here would work just as well. You just need to adjust your hook accordingly. But it's difficult, and it's very time consuming to use this crochet thread. You could also use embroidery floss. You're going to need about I believe about 35 yards of this thread or floss to make your prayer cloth. So as we chain 52, and I'm not going to try to talk and chain 52 at the same time because I know I'd lose track, but I'll crochet, I'll go ahead and chain a couple of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when I get to the 52, I'll meet you there. Okay, so now that I have chained my 52, we're going to do an extended double crochet. Okay, and you just you yarn over, and you're going to go into the 4th stitch from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Place your hook through the stitch. Okay, you wrap your yarn around, you pull through, and now you have 3 stitches on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 1 stitch, and then it's just like a double crochet. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so again, you're going to yarn over, place it through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm sorry, my camera is not the greatest camera in the world. Okay, so yarn over, place it through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So far we should have 3 stitches. Okay, and you are going to do this through your whole chain. For the first row, it's just the whole first row is extended double crochet. So I'll show you, or tell you one more time. I'm not really sure if you can see, we're going to yarn over, place it through the stitch, the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over, pull through two loops, yarn over and pull through the last two loops. Okay, so whenever I get to the end, I'll meet you there. Okay guys, I switched to a G-hook and 4-ply yarn to hopefully that my camera would work better for you guys. So here I have the first row of extended double crochet, and you should have 48 stitches when you get to the end. When we're at the end for row 2, we're going to chain 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to turn your work around. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 extended double crochets. So yarn over, place it through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over, pull through two loops, yarn over, pull through two. We're going to do that 2 more times. Yarn over, place it through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Okay, and one more time, yarn over, place it through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. Okay, so this is going to be our first block. A block will have 4 stitches in it. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2. We're going to do in the third stitch an extended double crochet. Okay, so now we have an open block. Then we're going to make 2 more open blocks. So we're going to chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third stitch an extended double crochet. Okay, and one more time, chain 2, and in the third stitch an extended double crochet. Okay, so now we have 4 blocks. We have a solid block and 3 open blocks. And then we need a solid block right here. So we're going to make 3 more extended double crochets. Okay. Now we are going to need, I believe it is 6. Let me count. 1, 2, 3. Yes, now we need 6 open blocks. So here is a closed block, 3 opens, and a closed block. Now we need 6 open blocks like this. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and in the third stitch an extended double crochet, chain 2, and in the third stitch an extended double crochet, chain 2, in the third stitch another extended double crochet. So it gives us, oh, I'm sorry, the camera just fell over. Okay, and we need 3 more open blocks. And you're probably wondering what the purpose of a prayer cloth is if you do not already know. And the purpose of a prayer cloth or a prayer shawl, people make prayer shawls as well, is to pray for the person that you're making it for, and to try to incorporate a prayer into each stitch. And so it's a good thing to, it's good to be quiet and kind of off to yourself when you make these. it can really enhance your prayer life a lot, and it can also does wonders for the person when you give it to them. They are so appreciative of seeing your hard work. So okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 open blocks, so now we need a closed block, and that is going to, so the next stitch we're going to do an extended double crochet and another extended double crochet and one more. Okay, so now we have a solid block here. So now we need 3 open blocks. So chain 2 and go to the 3rd stitch over and extend a double crochet. And you're going to chain 2, 3rd stitch over and extend a double crochet. And we need one more, so chain 2, 3rd stitch over and extend a double crochet. And then we need a solid block on the end, so we need to do 3 extended double crochets. So there is 1, 2, and then your last stitch will be at the top of the chain. So you're at the beginning of a row when you chain 3, that does count as a stitch. Okay, so now we're at the end of that row, and we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work around. We're going to do 3 extended double crochets. There is 1. And there's 2. And there is 3. So I believe we are going to repeat the same steps for this row in the next 2 rows. The next 2 rows is just repeating what we've done. So chain 2, and then you're right in the top of your extended double crochet from the previous row. So you have an open block like this, kind of like it's given it that mesh, the mesh look. Chain 2. Okay, and right above that previous stitch, we're going to do another extended double crochet. Okay, chain 2, and right in the top of that stitch, and extended double crochet. Okay, and then we need to make a solid block here. So that's 2. We have 2 more stitches. So remember, a solid block has 4 stitches. If there is 2 blocks next to each other, then they share the middle stitch, and it will only be 7 extended double crochets. We will get to that later. Okay, so we're going to chain 2, and right on the top of that stitch, and extend a double crochet. And we're going to just repeat the row, the one that you just made, and it's really easy to see what you've done because you can look down and see. So you're when you chain 2, your extended double crochet goes right above the stitch from the previous row. Okay, so when we get to the end of this, at the end of row 3, I'll meet you there. Okay, so I'm at the end of row 3, and I have chain 3, so we're going to turn our work around. Okay, and row 4 is just repeating the exact same thing again. So I'm just going to go ahead and work row 4 for you, and I want to show you guys how I wrote out my pattern here. This is what it will look like. Okay, this, if I would have had graph paper, it would have been easier, but I just used this little notebook and drew my lines. But the beginning count was 52. So each block is worth 4 stitches. So I have a row of 16 across, and it's a row of 18 blocks down. And the colored blocks, the ones that are colored in, get the 4 stitches. And all these open blocks are the mesh. So you can really use this to make your own design. I mean, you can make it you can make it longer if you wanted, or wider, to just incorporate letters or names or anything that you want. So I just wanted to show you guys how I did that and how really anybody can do it. But so right now we've done row 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, row 4 is just another repeat. And then when we get to row 5, we'll have some more solid blocks to fill in right here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and complete row 4. Okay, so now I'm at the end of row 4. Okay, and I've chained 3, and I want to turn my work around. So now we need 5 solid blocks. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our last extended double crochet will be at the end of this one. So we are going to make 3 extended double crochets. 1, 2, can't get it to the stitch there. There we go. And 3. Okay, so remember we've chained 2 in the middle of these. So we're going to need 2 stitches right in the middle. So just kind of, with it being a chain, it may be tight, so you may have to force your stitch in there. So there's 1. And there is 2. Okay, so then our 4th stitch there. So now we have 2 solid blocks that are side by side. And if you count your stitches, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because they share this middle stitch right here. So there's 4 and then 4. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat what we just did in this first chain here. Do 1 extended double crochet and 1 extended double crochet in the next chain. Okay, and then you have a stitch right above this extended double crochet right here, right on the top of that stitch. Okay, and then we have our next stitch is in the first chain of that block, of the previous block. Next stitch in the second chain of the previous block. Oops. Okay, and then we have our next one goes right on the top of this extended double crochet from the previous row. Okay, and then we just put an extended double crochet on top of each one of these 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. I hope I'm not being confusing, but I guess I'm just trying to show you how I count the blocks whenever I'm making these. As you can see, we have our little square right here in the corner now, and whenever I crochet over the mesh, I always make sure I have 2 stitches in the middle of each one of these, and then I have 1 stitch that's right on top of the extended double crochet. So I hope that helps. That's just how I'm trying to help it make sense, I guess. So now we have we made 5 solid blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we are going to do 6 mesh blocks, just like the previous rows. So we're going to chain 2 and extend a double crochet right above this stitch right here. And just repeat that. I need to get myself some more yarn here. Now guys, I do understand that my camera is not the greatest in the world, and you know, I'm not really skilled at trying to at making these videos to begin with. So I'm doing the best with what I have on hand, and I'm just trying to share my creations with you, you know. So I think that's what it's all about in the crochet world. We all just like to, it helps give each other ideas and encouragement. Okay, so we have, now we're back to a solid block. We have our first stitch there. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now we have to repeat, just like on this side, we need to do 5 solid blocks to give us the square on the corner. Okay, so now we have 3 mesh blocks. We're going to have 2 extended double crochets in the middle of each one, and then 1 right above the stitch. Okay, so in this first chain here, I'm going to place a stitch. And normally when I guess I should make my chain, the chain looser, if that's a word, more loose, so the stitch will go in easier, but I don't ever seem to really do that. I always have to kind of force my stitch in there. Okay, and now this one is right above the previous extended double crochet. And then we have next stitch goes right in the first chain of that block. Next stitch goes in the second chain of the previous block. Okay, and then we have a stitch right above the last extended double crochet. An extended double crochet in the first chain of the previous block, and then 1 in the second chain, okay, and then 1 right above the last extended double crochet, or the first one of that block. So now we have 3 extended double crochets left. As long as you line up your work, and as long as you count your stitches, it should come out pretty straight and even. Okay, so that was the end of row 5. Okay, we have our 2 little squares on the ends there. Now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work around. Okay, and we'll be working on row 6. In row 6 will be mesh all the way across, except for right here. There will be a solid block on this end and 1 solid block on this end. That way we'll always have our border. So you'll always end with a solid block, and you'll always start with a solid block. That way we'll have our border around the edge. So we have 1 stitch with our chain 3. Then we have our second stitch, our third stitch, and then our fourth. Okay, and now we're going to be making the mesh, the open, so we're going to chain 2 and place a stitch in the third chain, or the third stitch over, skip 2 stitches and place it in the third stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch, an extended double crochet. Okay, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch, an extended double crochet, chain 2, and in the 3rd stitch, which should be at the last stitch of that block, of the previous block, and an extended double crochet. Okay, so now we have 4 open blocks and 1 closed block. Now we're going to chain 2, and right above the extended double crochet stitch from the previous row, do another extended double crochet, chain 2, extended double crochet, chain 2, extended double crochet. See, this is really easy once you get the hang of it. I'm sure you pretty much have an idea of what's going on by now. But just in case, I have a hard time explaining things sometimes when I know. Okay guys, sorry about that. My memory card was full. Okay, so if we try to figure out where we were, we have 1 solid block. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on my 10th mesh block. Okay, and we're going to do another mesh block here. We're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch, an extended double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, an extended double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, in the 3rd one, an extended double crochet, chain 2. This will be our last mesh block, because you see we have 2 blocks left, and this one here will be a solid block. And we're going to skip 2, and in the 3rd, an extended double crochet. So now we need to do 3 more extended double crochets. One, 2, the last one's in the top of the chain 3. Okay, so that was the end of row 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. So now we're going to chain 3, turn the work around, and work on row 7. Okay, let's see. We need a solid block. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we need 2 mesh blocks. Okay, so I'm going to chain 2. And chain 2. Okay, and now we need a solid block right here. So we are going to place a stitch in the first chain from the previous block, and a stitch in the second chain from the previous block, and then a stitch right above the extended double crochet from the previous row. Okay, so now we have a solid block, 2 open, and another solid. Now we need 3 mesh blocks. So chain 2, chain 2, chain 2. Okay, so now I need 1, 2, 3. Looking at my pattern, if you guys wonder about that. So this is the row 7 that we are on here. So we have 1 solid block, 2 open, 1 solid. We did 3 open, and now we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 solid. So we are going to place a stitch in the first chain from the previous row. Oh, there we go. Well, this stitch isn't wanting to work out very well. Okay, and a stitch in the second chain. For some reason I cannot. This is starting to be a little difficult for me. Okay, and then a stitch right above the previous stitch from the previous row. Okay, and now a stitch in the chain 1 in the opening, and a stitch in the chain 2, and then a stitch right above the previous stitch. Okay, so now we have 2 solid blocks, and we need 2 more. So a stitch in the chain 1, a stitch in the chain 2, and a stitch in the previous row's extended double crochet. Now we need 1 more block. And 3. So that should give us 4 solid blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we need 4 mesh blocks. Okay, so chain 2, chain 2, chain 2, and we have 1 more mesh block to go. This is very repetitive, so it's very redundant. So I'm hoping that you guys have really caught on by now to how each block is made. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them below, or definitely do a video response if you make your own. Okay, so it was the end of row 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn your work around. So row 8. Remember, we always start off with a solid block, so we need to do 3 extended double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and now we need 3 mesh blocks. So we're going to chain 2 and extended double crochet, chain 2 and extended double crochet, chain 2, extended double crochet. Okay, and we need a solid block here. Well, hold on, no, that's not right. Yeah, we need a, sorry, my pattern, just realized, because this is the first time that I'm making this pattern, and on the prayer cloth I showed you at the beginning with the cross, it's just completely equal on each side, so I just read the rows like this instead of going back and forth and back and forth. And on this one I have to make sure that because we just did this row here, the very bottom of the fish here, and now I am working my way back, and I have to we're working on this part of the fish here. So this is the solid block that we're getting ready to make, and we will go this way. Okay, so let's make a solid block. Place one in the second chain, one above the previous stitch. Okay, and now we need 4 mesh blocks. So chain 2, 1, 2, 3. Now we just count over to the 3rd stitch, chain 2, skip 2, and then the 3rd, chain 2, skip over to the 3rd stitch, chain 2, and skip over to the 3rd stitch. Okay, and now we have a solid block. So we're going to go extend a double crochet in the first chain, and extend a double crochet in the second chain, and an extended double crochet above the previous stitch from the row before. Okay, and now we have 1 mesh block, chain 2, okay, and now we have a solid block. So place a stitch in the first chain, place a stitch in the second chain, and place a stitch right above the last one from the previous row. Okay, and now we have 3, we're going to do 3 mesh, 3 open blocks, chain 2, extend a double crochet, chain 2, and extend a double crochet, chain 2, extend a double crochet, and we will end the row with our another block. So that's 1, 2 stitches, 3 stitches, and the 4th stitch. Okay, so it's the end of that row, and we're going to chain 3, turn and work around. Okay, and that was row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we're on row 9, which is right here. We've completed this part of the fin of the fish, and we're going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4 mesh blocks, a solid block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mesh, 1 solid, 2 mesh, and 1 solid. Okay. So you can see the fish starting to form. Okay, there's 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3, and 4. Okay, and we're going to do, let's see, what did I say, 4 open blocks. Okay, so we chain 2 and extend a double crochet, chain 2 and extend a double crochet, chain 2 an extended double crochet, chain 2, and extended double crochet. Okay, so now we have one solid block. So we're going to do an extended double crochet in the first chain from the previous row, extended double crochet in the second chain, if I can get my hook in there. Okay, and an extended double crochet in the previous stitch. Okay, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 6, make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mesh blocks. Okay, so after I do the 6 mesh blocks, we do 1 solid block, 2 mesh, and 1 solid. And I'm going to go ahead and do the 6 mesh blocks. Okay, I did the 6 mesh. Now we're going to do 1 solid block. And then we're going to do 2 open blocks. And we're going to finish off with a solid block. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't place that in the stitch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4 makes my solid block. Okay, and we're going to chain 3 and turn your work around. Okay, so now we're back at the front of the fish, and I believe this row you were just going to repeat your previous row. You're going to have a solid block, 2 open, a solid block, 6 open, a solid block, 4 open, and a solid block. You're just going to repeat this row. Okay, that was the end of row 10. We just repeated the row 9, and you're going to chain 3, turn your work around, and we are going to start with a solid block. Then we will have 3 mesh blocks. So let's do our solid block. Okay, and now we're going to have, what did I say, 3 mesh. That was 1. And that's 2. And this is 3. So now we're going to have a solid block. Sorry guys, I'm having a hard time getting back on track here. Okay. Solid block, 3 open, and a solid block. Now you're going to do 1 open, so chain 2, and skip over to the 3rd stitch. Okay. Now we're going to have 1 solid block. Okay, and now we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 mesh blocks. Just like that. We're kind of making the top part of the fish now, so that's probably repeating this row right here. So just chain 2 and do, we'll have 4 mesh blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I believe that's 4. Yeah, okay, 4, and then a solid block. And then you'll have 3 open blocks and your solid block on the end. So I'm going to make a solid block, 3 opens, and then a solid block, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so now we're at the end of that row. I made the solid block, 3 open, and a solid. I've chained 3. I'm going to turn our work around. Hope I've been making this right so far. I'm going to double check here. Yeah, okay, so now we're going to make a solid block here. We're going to make 2 opens and then a solid block right there. No, that's not right. I'm in the front of the fish. See, this gets confusing sometimes. Okay, we just made this row right here. Yeah, so now we're going to have a solid block, 4 open, 4 closed, 3 open, 1 closed, 2 open, 1 closed. So we're going to make a solid block and then start out with 4 mesh blocks. Okay, I made my solid block, the 4 mesh blocks. Now I'm going to make 4 solid blocks. Okay, I've got my 4 mesh blocks. Now I'm going to make, my 4 solid blocks. So now I'm going to make 3 open blocks. And then we're going to make 1 solid block. Sorry guys, I wasn't even in the focus of the camera. Okay, and now we're going to make 2 mesh and 1 closed block. So chain 2, extend a double crochet, chain 2, extend a double crochet, and then 3 extended double crochets to finish off your block. And we will chain 3 and turn our work around and begin on the next row. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's count our rows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've done 12 rows. We're going to be on the 13th row, and that's just going to be a solid block here and a solid block here on the end, and it'll be mesh all the way through, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like the 6th row. It's repeating the 6th row here. Okay, we just finished the 13th row. As you can see, the fish there in the middle, and we have the 2 squares on the end. So that's what we're going to start with this row. We're going to start making the squares for the top now. And so we are going to need 5 solid blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here will be the end of your 5, and then you're going to need 6, we're going to have 5 closed blocks, 6 open, and 5 closed, and I'll meet you at the end of that row. It was 5 open, I'm sorry, 5 closed, 6 open, 5 closed. Okay, so the end of row 14, we had 5 closed, 6 open, 5 closed. We're going to chain 3, turn our work around, and begin on row 15. So we're going to start off with a solid block. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's our solid block. We're going to have 3 open blocks. After the 3 open, we'll have 1 closed. And we'll have 6 open, and I'll meet you at the end of the 6 open. Okay, I did the 6 open, and then we're going to have 1 closed, 3 open, and 1 closed. Okay, so now we're at the end of row, that was the end of row 15. We had the 1 closed, 3 open, 1 closed, chain 3, turn your work around, and we're going to begin on row 16. So that means there's only 18 rows in this, so we're almost finished. I appreciate you guys who's hung in there with me. So we're going to start off with a solid block at the beginning of row 16. Okay guys, sorry about that. I filled my memory card up again. But I had realized that the next 2 rows is just repeating this last row that we did. So we're going to repeat this last row 2 more times. Okay guys, I had repeated, I did row 16 and 17, and they were a repeat of row 15. As you can see there, and you only have 1 row left, and that's just an extended double crochet in every stitch to give it your border like you started with, and then after that you will be done. Okay, now that I'm finished, I'm just going to show you how I finished mine off. I just do a slip stitch, just pull it through, and then pull some thread out, and I'm going to cut it off and just pull it through the stitch there. That finishes it off. So we are finished. All I have to do is one in the tails. As you can see there, I think it turned out pretty nice. Of course, I will have to, I'm definitely going to make one with the crochet thread, because, let's see, let me show you the size difference in the ones made with the crochet thread, and this is with the 4-ply yarn. And I keep my prayer cloth with me everywhere I go. I usually keep it in my pocket, or always next to me. If you want to know more about prayer cloths, definitely you can Google it. You're going to find bad stuff about them. You're going to hear good stuff about them. The prayer cloth itself is not going to heal you or take away any pain or anything like that. The point of these prayer cloths is to pray for the person while you make them, and when you give it to them, explain to them that there is a prayer in every stitch, and just the time that it takes to make one lets a person know how much you care about them. The amount of time it takes to make it, it gives you more time to pray for that person individually and for all of their needs, because you'll find yourself trying, as you make these, trying to think of things to pray about, because you keep you're going to kind of repeat yourself over and over again. But it's good to keep your thoughts focused on God, and this little cloth is just a constant reminder of your faith, and it's your faith that will heal you, and your faith that will get you through hard times. So it's not this cloth. This cloth is meaningless. It's just a reminder of my faith. And I hope that some of you people will find this very interesting. And I love you guys on YouTube. You guys are always very friendly and very positive and encouraging. And in the same way, I hope that I can be for you. But I hope that you can try this out. Definitely give this a try. And send me a video response or just some comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.